when you're using your voice, it's very important that you're not straining any other part of the body, particularly those bits of the body around where your voice is being produced. Now, all voice is air coming from the bottom of the lungs, out the windpipe to the larynx. Your Adam's apple is the larynx. Simply put, pieces of cartilage put together inside which lie the vocal folds, or vocal cords, as they're more commonly known. Now, air coming from the bottom of the lungs, pushing against those vocal folds, causes them to vibrate, and that vibrating air in your chest, your throat, your nose, your mouth, and so on, becomes sound, which we then shape and send out, and that's speaking. Now, when we get nervous particularly, there's certain parts of the body that can get quite tense. Shoulders, for example. So it's very important. You can hear, as soon as I'm tensing my shoulders, it's affecting my voice. So a useful thing to do is to think about, well, how do I get the voice and the body balanced? And the easiest way to do that is this. I'll move back a little bit. So Diane, who's holding the camera, award-winning camera woman Diane Barry, specially brought in for the occasion, will get a better shot. Now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to get a balanced position. And what I'm doing is I'm imagining I've got my ears balancing over my shoulders, over my hips, over my knees, over my feet. So that my feet are a little closer together than the hips, and they're taking the main weight of the body. Now, what's happening up in this area is rather important, because I want to make sure this area is nice and free so I don't strain my voice. So what I can also do is imagine I've got a string running up through the spine, out to the neck, out to the top of my head. This is from the Alexander technique, for those of you who've come across that. And this string is pulling me up slightly on the balls of the feet. And as I look out over the horizon, when I'm looking at the horizon, my head's balancing perfectly. And then I allow my heels back down to the ground, leaving the head, just looking out over the horizon. Now that's given me a good stretch, particularly around this area, because I don't want to slump the rib cage if I want to breathe well for speaking. But on the other hand, it's stretched enough. I think of the back of the neck stretching, the front of the neck softening. That means I'm stretching to my full capacity, so I'm looking nice and confident, but at the same time, I'm not putting any kind of clamp or strain on my throat. In fact, the reverse, I'm opening up to allow me to speak really freely and easily.